welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do another bump date. I am now 29 weeks. 29, that's almost 30. Like, so freaking close to 30. It's so exciting. Hudson is avoiding his nap, but he's in his room supposed to be napping, so you might hear him make weird noises and talk because he's avoiding his nap. Anyways, I'm going to go over symptoms and then a couple stories and just everything. So we're gonna start off with Braxton Hicks. I never had Braxton Hicks with Hudson or with Jaden. With Hudson, I maybe when like they did cervical checks, I had some cramping, but I don't know if that's considered a Braxton Hicks. I think I'm getting them every once in a while. I don't really feel my belly go tight. But even when I was in labor, I never actually felt my belly get that rock hard. Like, it didn't seem that different to me. But I do have these moments where I feel just kind of like this like pressure cramp. And then almost like my breath, like someone just like squeezed my lungs and I just get like the air goes out a little bit. I think that's a Braxton Hicks. I have no idea, but that is happening. And that's been happening for probably about a week and a half now. Sleeping is getting a lot harder to do at night. I do still take half a Unisom at night. My cat just jumped in a box. I do take half a Unisom at night, so that's kind of like, that helps me fall asleep. But I have a hard time in the night just staying comfortable. And I find myself often waking up on my back, which you're not supposed to sleep on your back when you're in your third trimester. And so then I'm like, oh crap, and I gotta fix it. That's pretty much about the gist of sleep. I still do sleep for the most part, but I feel I don't know, my belly's uncomfortable. Sorry you guys, my hair is driving me cuckoo. I tried to curl it and it just did not stay curled and it's just a big poofy mess. My stomach is starting to feel so squashed. Like when I go to eat, I can just feel her like all the way up here. And when I go to eat and stuff, I just can't eat very much in a sitting, but then I'm like starving immediately after. And I'm having a lot more like acid reflux at night, which I do take Prilosec, but despite that, not really heartburn, but I do have the actual like acid reflux part of it. So that's a little like obnoxious, but it's whatever. I do wish I could eat a little bit more in a sitting because I'm still trying to gain weight. Another thing that started probably in the last 2 weeks, it's been a long time since I've done one of these, so in the last probably 2 weeks I started having episodes of what they would call lightning crotch, and I'm getting it a lot more this pregnancy than I did with Hudson. I don't know if it's more in tune or more is going on. I swear she's going to come a lot earlier than Hudson did, but it just kind of feels like literally like a shock of electricity through your vagina. That's basically it. It goes away. It doesn't hurt. It's just kind of startling. Like you're like, whoa, because you're just not expecting it. But that has started, and I would say probably started at about 27 weeks. And then I think that now that third trimester's hit, my fatigue has come back. Not like first trimester where all you want to do is sleep, but I am feeling a lot more ran down, a lot faster, just sleepier in the day than I was before. So that's pretty eventful. I don't know what the right word for it is. It's just tiredness, I find myself wanting to have a little bit of caffeine in the afternoon again, when before I wasn't really needing it in the second trimester, which I am officially in the third trimester. I guess I never really said that. This is gonna be so hodgepodgey ramble, but I am third trimester officially, as if sometimes it's 28, sometimes it's 29. It really depends on who you ask, but I'm officially there either way. 29 weeks today. Third trimester, baby. We have just so close to go. I should have 11 weeks left. I don't think they'll make me go past 39. So really 10. I'm praying that she comes on Thanksgiving, which would be like 37 and a half weeks, which is a little early to most, but 37, actually, I'd be like a day away from 38 weeks on Thanksgiving. So 38 weeks is when I'm hoping she comes, which would put, which is like 2 months from tomorrow. So that would be really cool, and it makes everything sound a lot faster when I say 2 months from tomorrow. I'm really praying for the like she comes around Thanksgiving, obviously you have no control over it, but I probably will be doing everything in my power when it comes to walking and everything around that time, just because Sky's dad will already be in town to watch Hudson, and then you don't have to worry about his, like, depending on weather, 3 to 4 hour drive to get here. He is the only person we have to watch Hudson, and so it's, yeah, that part freaks me out, because by the time I realized I was in labor with Hudson, he came 4 hours after. So there's a good chance he'll just be hanging out at the hospital with us at this rate, or at that rate. So it'll be interesting to see when the time comes. I'm a little very nervous for that. Baby girl favors the right side. I often feel her kicks and jabs and head, but I don't know. I can never tell exactly how she's laying, because you never know. She could have her hands up here, she could have her hands down there. I heard noises. I think that's Hudson being crazy. Okay, you never know. Her feet could be by her head because they're so flexible. So I can never tell how she's laying, but she does favor my right side. I can feel the hardness of her body on the right side and all of her kicks. Like, I swear one of these days I'm just gonna have fingers poking out of my right side, because that's always where she kicks, rarely over on the left side. Every once in a while, but not very often. That is mostly my symptoms. I have had a couple episodes of nausea and just that feeling. It's kind of like indigestion, but not quite. It's more solid, just uncomfortable right here, like, I don't know, just right on your sternum. And that was that mixed with the nausea, mixed with it just kind of started to worry me, and I got a little bit more paranoid last week, and I felt like she was kicking less, which I still think she was. She picked back up, but there's about a week that I felt like she was kicking a lot less, and for me that is symptom enough to go to labor and delivery, just because you don't know, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. The bill's gonna suck, but I would rather be safe than sorry. And so I did end up going to labor and delivery last week, where they checked her movement, because to me it was decreased, which to them they don't know. So I feel like they're like, oh well, you should be feeling 6 movements in an hour, and I was like, okay, but normally I feel like 40 in an hour. Like, that's a big difference. But anyways, she did meet their requirements, so they sent me home. They did do a blood check. I wanted them to check all my blood, because just check the liver enzymes and everything. My blood pressure was good, but the HELLP syndrome can come back despite that. Like, it's not always blood pressure related. So I did have them check my blood. My liver enzymes and all of that was perfect. I did show up that I was anemic, and I think that kind of has been contributing to some of my nausea and fatigue. Because not enough iron, not enough blood, it just messes everything up. And so I think that, I don't know, I've noticed, like, I didn't take an iron pill in the morning, and I waited until after we got home one day because I had a lot of dairy in for my breakfast, and you're not supposed to take with dairy. Anyway, that's the part I started getting really lightheaded and nauseous, like I was gonna puke and like pass out and stuff, and I think it was related to that. I don't know for sure, but I think so. But anyways, she did show up perfectly fine when I went in. They did do a cervical check, and when they did the cervical check, I was a fingertip, which is probably either 1/2 centimeter or 1 centimeter dilated. At this point, that's probably doesn't mean anything. There's, people, dilation just doesn't tell you much. Some people say dilated for like 2 centimeters for like 2 months, and then not, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it doesn't really tell much. It's not going to tell anything. So 1/2 centimeter or 1 centimeter, she wasn't sure. Fingertip was all she said. But that was fine. And then they did a strep B, and I never heard back about it, so it must have been fine. Let's see. Sorry you guys, so much has happened. This is gonna be really long, but please watch because I love you. I also had a glucose screening at my I don't know what week it was. It was like 4 weeks, on September 1st. I did a glucose test. I failed it. It was a 1 hour one where you just drink the drink and then you you just live your day normal, drink the drink, go in at the hour mark, and they prick you and they test your blood. It came up at 169, failing is anything over 140. So they did require me to do a 3-hour glucose test, and that sucked. The glucose drink alone makes me feel sick, but I had to fast for 8 hours before the glucose test, the 3-hour one, and then you can't eat or drink, or you can have water, but nothing else. And then you can't eat during it. And so I woke up really early at like 6 a.m. because that's when the labs open. Went into the hospital and did that. They give you, it was an orange drink this time, and it has 100 grams of sugar, or dextrose, but sugar. And it made me feel so sick. I literally was doing everything in my power not to puke it up, because if you puke, you fail, and that would suck. Or I think you do it again, but one or the other. Either way, I did not want to do it again. So I drank it, and then I sat there for an hour, and then they checked my blood. They checked it before I did the drink, and it was fine. And then they checked it again at the 1 hour mark, and then they checked it again at the 2 hour mark, and then from there I was allowed to call my doctor and ask him if I needed the 3-hour one, if I needed to wait for the 3rd hour, because if it was fine for the first 3, then it's probably gonna be fine for the 4th. Sorry, I'm getting out of breath. And I called my doctor, and it was perfectly fine, thank the Lord, because my sugar cravings are ridiculous. But it was fine, so no gestational diabetes. Thank the Lord. I'm just sugaraholic. And that was pretty much with that. So that is everything doctor-wise that's happened in the last couple weeks. This is the time that I had Jaden, and I just get super paranoid, and symptomatically I really try to watch myself. So that's just kind of like how that played out. I think probably more of my like subconscious stress and worry probably played into her movement as well, because babies of course feel all of that. So it felt good to just have like everything checked with that. I do have a doctor's appointment in a couple days. I don't know, it'll be like a 29 week. So we'll see what they say, but I don't know if they'll say anything. I'm having a major food aversion to chicken. I do not want to eat chicken. I'll eat it if I can't taste it. Like wings, where it's little bits, I'm fine with, but I really just don't want to eat chicken. And I cooked sky chicken last night, and I thought I was gonna vomit while I made it because I just didn't want it. So, yeah, it just stinks. Like the smell of chicken. Ugh, it gets to me. And my major craving, like in the last 2 weeks, is crepes. Like crepes with like a cream cheese filling and then a berry sauce on top. That is like my heaven food, and that's all I want to eat. The only thing that sounds good, but you can't eat that for every meal, can ya? I just tried to weigh myself. Our scale is broken, so either way, I can only see this part of the number. So I don't really know what I weigh. Definitely over 110, which is good. My last appointment at I was what, like 25 weeks? At 25 weeks, I was 115. That's the word I'm looking for. I weighed 115 pounds, which means I've gained 15 pounds, which is good. I'm gonna guess, my scale at least shows the second number, so I haven't hit 120 yet. So I'm still somewhere between probably the 15 and the 20 mark. I'm gonna guess 118. So I think my weight gain it's good. If I've gained probably 15 to 18 pounds, I think that's really, really good, especially because you tend to gain a lot in the 3rd trimester, because that's when baby. She probably weighs about 2.5 pounds right now, and she'll gain 4 more, so at least 4 more. 6 more if she wants to weigh as much as Hudson. So I don't know, we'll see, but I can't really tell you my weight. I can tell you after my appointment though next week. And I think that is pretty much everything for this update. I will show you my huge, gigantic belly. It feels so big, you guys. It feels so big. I'm getting to the point too where when I go to lay down, it like knocks the air out of me. Like if I just like go from standing to laying to like put Hudson to bed or whatever, I'm like, because it's like got to realign my lungs, you know? So, all right, belly shot. All right, so here is my belly with the shirt on. And then fix my pants. Here is with my shirt up, just the belly. I, again, don't know if I have stretch marks. I don't really see the line thingy yet either, but I can't really see this part of my belly, so I can't really tell you. But that is what my belly looks like. And again, she's basically always on this side. All right, I'm hoping I'm back in focus. I'm gonna end the video here. That is pretty much everything. It was very long, so if you got this far, thank you so much for watching all of it. Thank you for caring, and I hope I give you a little insight. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a friendly comment. Let me know what symptoms you are feeling at 29 weeks and just any of your experiences below, and we'll see you next week. Bye, you guys.